I just hiked the Tour du Mont Blanc in 9 days using this 7 to 10 liter lumbar pack. Every single thing I needed for every day was in this pack. I'm gonna show you what I packed, how I fit it into this tiny bag, and why you probably don't need to bring as much stuff as you think to have a great time on the Tour du Mont Blanc. I'm Shawn, and this is Days We Spent. Let's start the packing list, obviously, with the bag that I brought. This is the Sierra Design 7 to 10 liter flexible lumbar pack. I've had this exact bag for about 3 or 4 years now. If this is your first time watching the channel, hello. I walk a lot of Camino de Santiago routes here in Spain where I live. This was the first time walking something alpine like the TMB, and I wanted to challenge myself to see if I could do it in this small lumbar pack that I normally take on my Camino routes. I loved hiking the Tour de Mont Blanc with the lumbar pack. I didn't need to ship anything ahead. Everything fit in here, and I'll show you how it works because I think it's actually a really great way to hike. Even if you're trying to prepare for bad weather, you're doing alternative routes, I had everything I needed in here. This bag has one main compartment, a couple of little pockets, a top zipper, some clips to attach things. I've added a bungee strap system so that I can put jackets, sweaters, even like a loaf of bread on top of my bag. Keeps the weight close to my back and it lets me expand my bag if I'm not wearing all my layers. Got room for 2 water bottles. I carried 2 liters of water, actually less than 2 liters of water. The Tour du Mont Blanc is very well serviced, so you don't need a ton of water, which helps lighten your load quite substantially. In the front, I have a dog treat training pouch. I would use this for snacks like trail mix. There's a flexible pouch where I would keep some of my essentials. I added this waist belt pouch from Gossamer Gear. This gave me a lot of extra flexibility for grab and go items like snacks, which is a great reason to use a lumbar pack. You never have to take your bag off to get to your stuff. Last pocket here is the zipper pouch for essentials that I wanted to keep safe. I also use these straps underneath to keep a rain poncho, which is not actually with me because I borrowed it from a friend, so I could fit a big rain poncho on the bottom of my bag. But that's it. It fit really well. It's a little bit padded. I have a lot of other lumbar packing lists for my Camino routes if you want to go into a more deep dive on the bag, but you do not need a massive bag to hike the Tour du Mont Blanc because you're staying in huts and refuges. I found that I had everything I need. So let's talk about what that is. Clothing. So the only way that you can really pack in a lumbar pack for a multi-day through hike is by committing to doing 2 things. You need 1 pair of city clothes and 1 pair of trail clothes. And by city clothes, I mean clothes at the end of the day for the hut or refuge. And then you have to wear the same thing on trail every single day. For me, that is this Jolly Gear Triple Crown sun shirt. I've worn this for a while. It's one of my favorite trail shirts. It's got the thumb holes, hood, got great pockets, great storage. It's a very good shirt. I also am hiking in my Decathlon stretchy shorts with like 1 cargo pocket on the side. I think they're like 14 euros. They work great. I hiked the entire Tour du Mont Blanc in shorts in August to mid-September. We had snow, we had rain, we had hail, we had sunny days, we had cold mornings. We did it all. The shorts performed really, really well. Every day on trail, I would wear REI silk sock liners. These help prevent blisters by adding an interstitial layer between your socks and your feet. I wore them every single day. I only brought 1 pair. These are darn tufts. These are the heavier crew knit. They did great. I didn't get any blisters. Wore them every single day. I also wore the same underwear every day. Merino underwear from Ibex. They did an incredible job. They're odor resistant. They dry really fast. These are my go-to hiking underwear. I would wear these on trail and another pair when I would get to the refuge. 2 pairs of socks, 2 pairs of underwear. You're good to go. I don't wear hiking boots. Instead, I wear the Ultra Lone Peaks. I think these are the 9s. Yep, these are the 9s. They've got a super wide toe box. These are the Vibram ones, so very rugged, very comfortable. These things did amazing. I packed my knee brace and I used it every day. This is also a merino buff. I always hike with a buff. It's a nice layer to keep you warm. Some of the summits and the cols and the crossings were pretty windy, pretty chilly. Bring it up over your face to shield your skin. You can wear it around your neck in the mornings. If it's really hot, you can wet it, cool you down. Always hike with a buff. These were also a key part of my daily trail clothing. These sunglasses are fantastic because they have side shields. The sun is really harsh at high altitude. You really want to protect your eyes, especially if there's snow on the ground. It's going to be bouncing into your dome. This is my trail hat. I've had this forever. This is from Tillac. I wear this in combination with my sun hoodie to create a nice little sun bonnet, so my face is totally protected from the sun. So none of those things were in my bag. They were like on my body all the time. But obviously you need clothes for when you get to the refuge. You don't want to be the person wearing the same thing all day, every day. So these are my refuge clothes, my hut clothes, my end of the day clothing. Ultralight t-shirt from Rab. It weighs nothing, vents at the back. It does a great job with odor performance, wrinkle performance. This This is my go-to every day. Uniqlo Airisms. I chose these for their size. I would wear these at the hut every day. These are my newest addition to my packing list. I love these pants. These are from Mammut. They're a jogger style pants. I could wear these on trail if I wanted to. They're stretchy, but pretty rugged. But I like wearing them when I get to the huts because typically the temperature goes down quite a bit at the end of the day. You want that extra bit of warmth because you're not moving. So pants at the end of the day were actually a better call for me. I've got a great zipper pocket where I kept my wallet. Great front pockets. Nothing falls out of these pants. They're super comfy, drawstring. You don't need a belt. They're also quite lightweight. Lastly, I have another pair of darn tough socks. I could have swapped these out with the other socks, but my other socks didn't smell and they're a little thicker, so they were doing a good job. So I just wore these when I got to the hut. A lot of the refuges have communal Crocs that you can just wear. Put on the Crocs, put on the socks, watch the sun go down. It was nice to have a clean pair of socks at the end of the day. 2 pairs of socks, 2 pairs of underwear, 1 city, 1 hiking clothes. You'll be good to go. But because you're also hiking in the Alps, you need to make sure that you have cold weather gear, rain gear, and layers to make sure that you stay safe and warm. I packed this very, very lightweight merino beanie, also from Ibex. I love this thing. It fits really well. It's just long enough to where I could pull it over my eyes, so it works as a sleep mask if I'm using it at night. I wore this every single day. It weighs nothing, packs to nothing. Keeping your hands warm is really important. I talked to a few people on the trail that did not pack gloves, but I think that gloves are so small and lightweight, but so useful that you really should prioritize at least 1 pair of gloves. I have these cheap gloves. They are not all weather, but they're good for like jogging and they kept you warm. But I've had trouble with these in the past. Once they get wet, they don't do a great job of keeping your hands warm. So I added these mitten kind of overlayer. I had 2 pairs of gloves in my packing list. I got these in Chamonix right before the hike. I really liked them. When it was really raining and really windy and really cold, I'd put these over the layers. So I was like double gloving it, which is excessive, but I was very warm and I had space in my bag to do that. My main layer is this ultralight hoodie from Mammut. It's a really great jacket, fleece kind of thing. It has an awesome pocket, very useful, and hood, ultralight. I can just put this on top of my bag when I'm not wearing it. But because it's the Alps, I was wearing it most mornings well into the afternoon. My last layer is this anorak hoodie from Passenger. I use this as almost an external extra storage pocket for a lot of my layers. So my gloves lived in here, my beanie lived in here. Sometimes I would stuff my buff in there so that they were handy if I got cold, but when I got overheated from going uphill, I could take them off and just put them in my chest pocket. This is rain resistant, but it's not rain proof. So I did add a poncho to my packing list and I'm very glad I did. If you hike in a lumbar pack, a poncho is better than a raincoat because it covers your pack. It also covers a good portion of your legs and it looks really cool. It worked really well. I used the Crocs that were available at the refuge 90% of the time, but I did pack a pair of flip-flops for the shower. I don't recommend a split toe sandal because it gets pretty cold at night. So you're gonna wanna wear socks, which can be difficult with a split toe like this. I brought these because they're small and lightweight, but if you have a pair of open-toed sandals, that is probably gonna be better. But no matter what you bring, you can bring a shower cap and keep your sandals from getting all the rest of your stuff really dirty because these would actually go inside my pack. I have enough room in my lumbar pack to put the sandals inside. I don't have to clip them to the outside. Every single minute, basically on trail, I would also use hiking poles. These are the clip lock kind, which I prefer. They're just a cheap pair. I think they're 30 bucks for this pair here. You don't need to get an ultralight pair of hiking poles. Just get something that you can use to get uphill, downhill, or move through the flats. They are very useful on the TMB and I recommend them. Sleeping in the huts and refuges is a little bit challenging because sometimes you're in a big dorm room with a bunch of people. You want to make sure that you prioritize your sleep by bringing a few things. Sleep mask, this is from a flight. Didn't even buy it. It works really well. I always pack a pair of foam earplugs. However, I didn't really use them because instead I would wear my CMF earbuds. These have become my new favorite earbuds. This case is super light. The battery lasts for like 10 hours, 100 hours of charge in the battery. They fit really snug. They have noise canceling. They're only like 30 or 40 bucks. I'd wear these at night to listen to music or a podcast to go to sleep, and it drowned out the snores and all the noise. I also brought some melatonin tablets and gummies. I use these just in case I'm having trouble falling asleep, but I'm not a doctor. Talk to your doctor. Also, you are required at most refuges to bring a sleep liner. I have a lightweight silk sleep liner that I typically carry. It's only 100 grams, but I was a little bit worried about warmth in the higher elevation. So I splurged and got the Sea to Summit Reactor liner. Very cool banana color. And I'm really glad I did. This become one of my favorite pieces of gear. It's got a nice kind of mummy hood if that's something that you prioritize. I got the kind that also has an adjustable bottom. So if you're someone who likes to sleep snugged up, you can clamp it down and your feet will be nice and cozy. You can open it wide and kick your feet out. It's customizable is what I'm saying. I used it every night, slept like a baby. This is also from Sea to Summit. This is the Airlight towel. It's the lightest weight towel I've ever used. That's still a really good towel. It's still pretty big for how small it folds down. This towel is great. Dries really quickly, packs down to nothing. Love it. This is my toiletry kit, toothbrush, bar soap, and a tiny little thing of toothpaste. That's all I brought. It's all I ever use. Very easily lasted the 9 days. You can always resupply if you're someone that uses a lot of soap or toothpaste, but for me, this is what I always carry, and it's more than enough. I also recommend bringing sunscreen for my legs, neck, any kind of exposed areas, back of my hands. I also use this tinted mineral sunscreen from All Good. It's like a sunscreen butter. Oh yeah. And just a little bit on your nose and face. Keeps you safe from the sun. The sun is a lot more harsh at higher altitudes, just thinner atmosphere, so you can get sunburned in minutes, especially on a sunny day. I also use this SPF lip balm to keep my lips from getting chapped. Easy to fit in the waist belt of my bag. For my first aid kit, I use this Topo Designs taco bag. Got a built-in carabiner that I would use to put like a roll of Band-Aid tape. Didn't need to use it, but it's great because you can cut it to size. I also brought one little sachet of antibiotic cream. I'd also put some ibuprofen and vitamins in here, hanging on the outside of my bag, so it was always ready to go. I also keep my Opinel knife in here. We would use this for picnics. It's nice to have a good knife on the trail. I've been using this for years. Fits in my first aid kit, so. Last thing I talk about is my electronics. I brought this Anker fast charging gallium nitride European plug. It has 2 USB-C ports. My wife and I do a lot of filming when we hike, so I needed 2 ports to charge our microphones, camera, other devices. If you don't need that, if you're just someone who's bringing your phone, make a slightly smaller version with just 1 USB-C. Again, I do prioritize getting a European plug. This worked in all 3 countries. The voltage is fine. And it's just a super lightweight, small way to charge your phone very quickly because power is not always guaranteed at the huts. I also brought this 5,000 milliamp hour Anker power bank. It has a built-in USB-C port, so you can just plug it right into your phone or other device. Very light, it can fit in your pocket. A really easy way to stay charged on the go. What's interesting is that I had enough room in my lumbar pack to bring other things that you probably won't need to bring. I brought microphones for us to record while we were hiking. I also brought a drone. This is the Hover Air Pro Max X1. It's one of those foldable drones. We really didn't want to be a disturbance on the trail, so I barely used this, but I did have room to bring it as well as an extra battery. I don't really recommend it. If I hiked it again, I wouldn't bring this drone. But if you see in the videos, I kept it in this drop leg bag. The drone would fit in here. The battery charger would fit in here. Spare batteries, sometimes microphone. But I really recommend this if you want to expand your lumbar pack. I barely notice it on my leg. You can put snacks in here. You put all sorts of stuff. A really small piece of gear that adds a lot of extra utility to your lumbar pack. And lastly, I brought 2 dry bags. This is the Ultrasil 5-liter dry bag from Sea to Summit. I use this for my electronics. This fit in my drop leg bag. I'd roll it down, squeeze out the air, and keep my electronics safe. We did get quite a bit of weather. I bought this 7-liter dry bag in Chamonix right before the trip. Just use this for all of my clothes. My sleep liner fit in here. Basically all of my soft goods fit in here, and it fit perfectly in the bag and kept everything nice and dry, especially in combination with a rain poncho. I also brought a wallet. This is from Alpaca. It's got a zipper for coin purse and a main zipper for cards. You need a lot of cash on the TMB. Bring a good wallet. This thing is amazing. Love this thing. So I'm gonna pack the bag right now, show you how it all fits so you can see the reality of packing for the Tour du Mont Blanc. In a lumbar pack, it's doable. You can fit everything pretty easily, even in a small lumbar pack. And that's it. Got loads of room for snacks here. I've got loads of room in this pocket. This is empty. I even have room here. There's room in that top pocket. I could add attachments here. Really loads of room. Let's weigh this bad boy without food or water. 2.75 kilos. I'm really happy to share this ultralight list. It was a really great way to hike the TMB. I didn't have any weight on my shoulders all day. I had more than enough clothing and layers to keep me safe and warm. I had room for water, room for snacks, I had room for lunch, room for everything. I'm a big fan of the lumbar pack. It takes some getting used to, but if you are curious about it, let me know in the comments if you have questions or if you have a specific piece of gear that you're curious about. There's room to bring what you need for the TMB in a lumbar pack. But yeah, it was a really great trip. I'm glad I packed so light, and I think you can do it too. Thanks for spending your day with me. Bye.